Okay, regardless of how many times you hear somebody say fake news, I can honestly tell you most of the time, reporters are not trying to trick you. That being said, there are some techniques that they can use to try and get the most out of an interview. And one of those techniques is the silent trap. Trap doesn't have a great connotation, but what it means is the reporter will ask you a question and then you'll answer, and then they won't have a follow up question. They'll just sit there. And that silence will make people generally uncomfortable and they'll want to fill the silence. So they'll either elaborate on their previous sentence or ramble or maybe say something that didn't necessarily want to say. Or what it will do is it will make the last statement that you just made dramatic. Because of that silence, especially on television, the silence is very dramatic. So the viewer will have a few seconds to just sit and think about your last statement if you let that sentence breathe in that silence.
I don't even know how long she'd been gone. Could have been weeks. I had to take a pretty hard look at myself. The way I treated other people, the costs of what I was doing. And I have since changed my company's policies as well as my own personal behavior and beliefs.
Okay, so bear with me. I know that's not a real interview. I know that's not a real news story, but I think it does a really good job of illustrating just what the silent trap can do. You saw Jennifer Aniston there, just letting the interview breathe, letting John Hamm continue his story, not interrupting with a follow-up question. And he was elaborating and adding so much more context for the viewer. Now, if you don't want to continue talking, if you're worried about rambling, if you're worried about saying maybe something you shouldn't say, there are ways to get out of it. And really the easiest one is just to ask if you have another question.
So I think I probably owe that student, at the very least, a conversation. Next question.